Hello and welcome back. Thank you for returning. My gosh, we have a lot to unpack. So we're just going to go ahead and talk about what it is that's going on in the collective. And so first we want to clarify what that means. So we're really talking about those of you that are part of the collective consciousness. When we talk about Christ consciousness, we're talking about those that have elevated themselves beyond that which is going on that is fairly transparent on the surface. So have you elevated your energy, your belief systems, the structures that you live within each and every day to come out of the shell of collective, of just believing what you've told, of reading other people's books and following what other people are doing and modeling your life after what others have done? Or are you branching out and actually coming into your own ideas, right? Your own personality and figuring out who you want to be without the energetic influence of everything else. So that's what we're talking about. So when I talk about the collective, it's generally the energies that are being cultivated and built all around. So with that, we're going to pull some cards. Okay. I got some stuff going on here. So I think that's interesting how that presented itself. So we're going to go ahead. Okay. Oh, the fairies. Okay. Well, sure. We're going to go ahead and pull some cards from the fairies, and it's going to be a random shuffle. Okay. So as we do that, these cards are a little bit thicker, so that's fine. It is getting a main message, this one, please. And it is snail space. Okay, I love it. Slow down, grounding, listen for the heartbeat of the earth and subtle energy. So this is kind of the general way that the collective is responding right now. It's taking the time to read the newspaper, to follow the news feed, to be active in social media and talking about what's going on and making it bigger and more dramatic. That's the literal case of what we're referring to at the collective right now. And so this message isn't meant to be necessarily fun and uplifting. It's meant to be real. But my natural state is usually to provide it in a way that is nice, but we are coming through in a brighter, different way today. So it's coming through at a snail's pace, not for us, but just generally how the world is responding. If you have felt overly tired, it's because you were empathically picking up on, if you want to call it that, the energies that are happening all over, right? And so it's kind of a need to cleanse yourself, to reset and make sure that you are taking the steps that are necessary to bring yourself back into center of who you are. Okay, so this is the 22 card. This is our first card hand. These cards are done. Okay, so that's what we're talking about, is the need currently to just recalibrate, because the energy of just being in doom and gloom doesn't feel good. And you can see in this particular card, it's like she's hunched over, right? And so that's not how I generally picture a fairy. If I were to picture one, it would be fluttering about. And so that's what we're talking about. The energy that is out there is the stale energy that isn't really moving right now, other than just to focus on the negative aspects that you can. That's the reality. Okay. Can almost kind of see that. Nope. Okay. So now we're going to pick some different cards. Okay. My little tail coats. Okay. And so they want to do an actual reading on this. So we're not going to do a structure. We're going to go with a free flow again. So we're just getting the energy of that. Nope. Okay. And so we're going to say that right now on this day, interesting. Yeah, that happened. The main energies that are out there are available, right, for the collective healing. There are people that will talk about other things. And there are other things to do and experience. And we would encourage you just to do that, because there went 4 cards. So the reality is that what you focus on grows, right? And so you want to be mindful of what it is that you're focusing on. Do you want more of that, or do you want more of something else? And so that's really the 7 of Cups energy. And so when we talk about the 7 of Cups, it's like there's just a lot of stuff out there, right? All of these cups have something different, and my unique style of reading is different, so it is what it is. And it is that my energies are, I'm channeling the energy around in a selective way, and also then reading the cards differently. But for me, when I finally understood what the base energy is of the 7 of Cups, it was that there's just really a lot of stuff out there that needs to be healed. It's like, here's all this gunk, and that's what's going on, right? So we're talking about, why do you feel tired? Why do you feel slow and bogged down? I personally have been taking 2 showers a day and spending time meditating and doing, just moving my body in whatever way that I can, and doing my best to stay in an energetic alignment, right? But this is the why, right? There's so many things out there right now in the collective that we're asking everyone to try and focus on still. What do you like about life? Try to find things to talk about that are lighter, right? That's the main gist of it. And so that's the situationship with the world right now, right? The reason that things feel slow and boggy, the amount of sleep that you may be feeling that you've needed recently has probably increased as well. And, oh, this makes perfect sense, right? Okay, we're gonna do all 4. So it really is the situation. Generally, how I read the energy is the situation, the transition, and the outcome, right? So here we're saying it's somewhat unstable in the environment in the nicest way we could pull, because this kind of makes sense, right? That things are slowed down because everything is a gunky mess. And so in order to work through that, what is needed and what is the outcome? And so what it is here is a lot of people blocking their own inner wisdom, their own inner truth, and not looking at the positive aspects that do exist, right? And talking about things in a positive way, but rather kind of being stuck in this general collective conscious energy, right? So it really is, in order to let go of all of this, there is a need to release blocking yourself from your own true abundance and what it is. And I see the Queen of Pentacles as loving the earth, and the pentacles are typically earth energy, right? So I see her as loving the earth, and her environment looks not cluttered, right? So we have going from cluttered energy to appreciating what it is that you have, whatever it happens to be around you. And so it's being mindful of what it is that you're blocking from your reality being, right? It is letting go of the need to block these things. Simply just let them go, right? Don't pay attention to them. Don't participate in them, and choose to move the story along in a better pattern. because it's ultimately how you choose to speak, how you choose to think, and how you choose to respond to the world around you right now that is shaping our current environment and our reality. Okay. So that's what we needed everybody to know. That's pretty much it for this reading. We could make it more fluffy, but that's the reality. If you were wondering what it is and why it is, it's make yourself the center of your own world. And make sure that you are taking time to feed what it is that you want to be in your reality, to focus on what it is that you desire, rather than what it is that you don't, because what you focus upon grows and thoughts create things. So this is for those of you that are participating in that. And if you aren't, then thank you, God, for being yourself. And please continue to do that, because it is those of us that are working on that underground, right? The underground current right now, to bring the thoughts of it's okay. Like, it's going to be okay either way. That is ultimately, the best advice that we have. I like that. So it's like, revealing what it is that is actually hidden. That when you can come out of that energy and say, I believe that things can be okay. It is ultimately your belief in what can happen that shapes the reality. So how can you choose to be in an energy of sustainability of your own future? It is ultimately to believe that things can and will go in a positive way. The best way to do it is to let go of, now it came out, the stagnant energy, right? And to not be in the energy of stagnation. This man is stuck in, it doesn't really look like quicksand, but I would say something like that, right? He's stuck in the sand. He can see the light is out there trying to reach him. It is simply a matter of allowing yourself to recognize those positive aspects, regardless, I love it, regardless of what it is that's going on, to recognize the positive aspects. The more that you can do that, the more we're going to pull forward more quickly. The more that you focus on the good things. It can be, wow, it could be your family. Sure. It was interesting. It could be, I am thankful for my loving family. I am thankful for whatever it is that you have around you, to allow for that to not be to not be the problems, right? To instead say, no matter what it is that's happening, I can choose to find the positive aspects that I do want to have in my life. So, for example, choose to have fun in some specific way. Give yourself the gift of fun and activate that in your life, whatever it is. Skipping, jumping jacks, whatever it is. We don't think it has to be very specific here. It's like, there we go. Okay. Do you want to, loving the way that played out. Do you want to experience a better life? Allow yourself to recognize the energy that you have been in and choose to recognize the situation and to transmute it yourself by saying, I still choose to do what feels fun, right? I guess this is a sharing session. I have been, I usually drink a green smoothie as like my first meal of choice. I made some chocolate chip cookies in my defense, they are gluten-free and sugar-free, but they're still chocolate chip cookies. What I have been doing is allowing myself to do this every day, no matter the time of day, to like say I'm prioritizing fun and what it is that I love in my life. And if you've heard me talk before, I do love good food. And that's it, right? We have the completion card, right? I would call this the major arcana energy of the completion card, right? That the world, the completion, in order to complete this cycle, you just have to choose to live the life you want to live and believe that life goes on. Please choose that. Please. That's it. If you need other suggestions or other things, feel free to comment and let me know. I'm happy to answer some of these things or the whys, or if there's other things out there. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we love you the most.